My sister Sharon took off with my husband Keith, dumping her dying son on me. 15 years later, they taunted me, asking about the boy they abandoned to die, until he walked in, a grown man. Their expressions were priceless. Have you ever been betrayed so profoundly, so utterly, that it felt like your entire life was a lie? For me, it started with a crumpled note and a terrified 5-year-old. What happened next wasn't just heartbreak, it was a battle for a child's life, against the very people who were supposed to protect him. It's been a long road, 15 years to be exact, and it all began on a Tuesday that felt just like any other. I remember the squeak of my car's brakes as I pulled into the driveway. It was one of those crisp autumn evenings, the kind where the air smells like rain and fallen leaves, and all you want to do is curl up indoors. I was bone tired, you know? That deep, weary exhaustion that no amount of coffee can touch. My grand plan for the night was simple: kick off my heels, nuke some leftovers, and maybe lose myself in some mindless TV. My sister, Sharon, was supposed to pick up her son, my sweet nephew Kyle. She'd been leaving him with me more and more often lately. And while I absolutely adored Kyle, I'll admit, I was secretly looking forward to a quiet house. My husband, Keith, should have been home already. I pictured him in the den, feet up, probably glued to the sports channel. But when I turned the key in the lock, the first thing that hit me was the silence. It wasn't a peaceful quiet. No, this was a heavy, hollow silence that felt wrong. The air was still cold. No TV blaring, no scent of dinner cooking. Nothing. Keith. I called out, dropping my purse onto the entryway table. Sharon? I'm home. Only the echo of my own voice answered me. A tiny knot of unease tightened in my stomach. I walked through the living room, my sensible work heels sinking into the carpet. Everything was tidy. Too tidy. A magazine on the coffee table was perfectly squared. The remote controls lined up in a neat little row. Keith, bless his heart, was many things, but neat was definitely not one of them. That's when I saw him. Little Kyle. He was only 5 years old then, all big, scared eyes and a mop of sandy blonde hair. He was curled up in the big armchair by the window, the one we called Grandpa's chair. He was clutching a throw pillow to his chest so tightly his little knuckles were white. He wasn't crying. He was just watching me, waiting. My heart did a painful little flip. I rushed over and knelt in front of him. Kyle, sweetie, where is everybody? Where's your mommy? He just stared at me, his lower lip trembling. He looked so small and lost in that huge chair. I smoothed his hair back from his forehead. It was damp, like he'd been sweating. Is Uncle Keith here? I asked, my voice softer this time. He shook his head, a tiny, jerky movement. Then, without a word, he uncurled one of his little hands from the pillow. He was holding a piece of paper, folded into a tight, crumpled square. He held it out to me. I took it from him. The paper was warm from his hand. For a second, I just looked at it. That knot of unease in my stomach was full story on the channel. Link below. Click now and watch what happened next.